Hello everybody and welcome to Haus. I'm Rob, and today we're going to be talking about the big news that Central Leagues just put out about Gen 10. We know where we are going, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I am pretty excited about it. Before we hop in, I'm gonna ask you guys like and subscribe if you enjoy Pokemon content, as we have it coming out nearly every single day here at Haus, whether it's news, all that kind of stuff. Just jump in here and join us. We've got a great community already started, hoping to add to it. Also, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this, but here's the leak. Here is the leak right now that we have gotten in quite a long time. Get ready for an oceanic adventure. It's true, we can confirm that Pokemon Gen 10, codenamed Gaia, will take place in the Cyclades. The game is planned for release next year exclusively for Switch 2. All right, a lot of stuff here to kind of go over. First off, oceanic. We are not in an ocean. The Cyclades are in Greece, or a part of Greece, I should say. They are Greek islands, and they are actually based in the Mediterranean. So we are going to be in a sea. It just doesn't sound as good as oceanic, I guess. And we've been hearing rumors about this for a really long time, and even gotten some leaks, right? We've heard wind and waves. I will see if they're actually going to do that. I think they might do something maybe a little more based on the Greek gods, but we are going to be island hopping again, something we already saw right in Gen 7. Even technically in Galar, we were on an island as well. So, you know, islands seem to be a big thing here for Pokemon. You know, you got the Isle of Armor, all that kind of stuff. Like, there's just islands everywhere, which we know is real, obviously, as well. And it's a good spot for you to be able to kind of create your own, you know, world, right? You know, in terms of it's kind of its own ecosystem. You don't necessarily have to connect it to anything. But as you can see, right, different than the Hawaiian Islands, which there were a lot of Hawaiian Islands as well. The Cyclades there's a ton of different islands here, you know, in Greece. And it may not even just be the Cyclades. They may even be, you know, willing to kind of spread it out. I think we might get our first Minotaur type Pokemon, maybe even a Centaur type Pokemon. I don't know exactly how they would do that, and I guess technically, I know we technically have both of those in different variations, right? With, like, you know, even Tauros, Strathrig to a certain extent, right? I'm talking about like a full-on, you know, maybe pseudo legendary of like a Minotaur or something like that, because it would make sense for these. You know, if you've read, you know, the Iliad and the Odyssey, like, they kind of pass through these different islands on their way there and on their way back, specifically. And, you know, it's kind of, I'm going to show you what they look like. I mean, these are the types of islands that we were talking about here, you know, with all these, you know, the blue and white buildings. A lot of people go here for honeymoons and whatnot as well. And so you can see they're absolutely stunningly beautiful. They're known for their fishing. They're known for these buildings that you can see, you know, these white clad buildings. Here's a little bit of a better view of one. You know, as we go down, you know, there's just, it's a really cool little area that I think, you know, is interesting that they're going there for Pokemon. I think the mythos of the ancient Greek gods and everything might be part of the main reason why they're doing it. I'm hopeful that they will have the Greek mainland in there somewhere, at least a little bit. It feels like we're missing out if we're not getting Athens and Sparta. That's kind of what I was hoping for, is that we would get, you know, that to start, and maybe they would do the Cyclades kind of as a DLC of some sort, but that just doesn't seem to be the case. But it is going to be, you know, interesting. How do you, you know, separate this from Alola? That's going to be a big deal, right? Like, they can't just bring back the trials and everything. Are they going to have gyms at each island? Are we going to get that many islands? You know, obviously we didn't get, I think we got 4, right? 4, maybe 5 for Alola. That's one of my least played games, so I do apologize for that one. My knowledge of that area is I've played it, but I just don't remember it as well as some of the other games. But I really want to see what they're going to do with this. I really, really, really hope they lean into the Greek myth. Like, the Greek mythos would be such a fun thing to add to these games, to this series. I think you can draw so much of it when you are, you know, trying to come up with different Pokemon, new Pokemon that you're going to have in the game. I'm interested to see how they're going to do gyms and whatnot. Like I said, is it going to be every island? Are there going to be a few on some island? Are some islands going to be huge? Is this going to be truly open world, right? That's another really big question that is going to get answered here, hopefully pretty soon. Is it going to be that you can just go straight to all the islands, but you're going to have to, you know, surf or fly over them? I don't know. Or is there going to be boats that hopefully can take it so that we're not having to face 1,000 tentacruel as we, you know, surf our way, you know, through them all? This is a really interesting idea for them to be doing with Pokemon, and one that I am very excited about. The last little bit here, outside the speculation that I have, is that the game is planned for release next year for the Switch 2. Two big things here. One, 2026. We already had a pretty good idea that we'd be getting Gen 10 during this time period. You know, it has been, what, 4 years now? It will have been 4 years, I think, at this point. You know, since Gen 9. Along with that, we're getting the 30th anniversary, which is a really big deal. So I think they're going to try to make these hopefully the best games that they have made yet. Are they going to take anything from Pokemon Legends ZA, kind of like they did with Legends Arceus, you know, when they brought it over for Gen 9? I know we haven't gotten ZA yet, but maybe they're going to add some of the elements. Maybe it's going to be more time, you know, based battles. In terms of, you know, I guess more of like an action RPG. But, you know, good news is we're getting it next year, according to Centro at least. Remember, take all these with a grain of salt. I know that they're saying confirmed, but they have been duped more than a few times. And then exclusively for the Switch 2 is the other big one I want to talk about here. The Switch 2 is much bigger. Obviously, it gives us a lot more capacity for graphics, everything else. We saw the difference between, you know, Pokemon Legends ZA on the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. There's a stark contrast just in the lighting and even the contrast and everything else that's within, you know, the videos that they've shown us so far. But this is a big deal for Switch 1 users. If you do not get a Switch 2 before this comes out, you will not be able to play Gen 10 yet, or at all. So that is shocking. I really would have thought that they would do Switch 1 and Switch 2, but maybe they're just really trying to focus on making it the best graphical, the best, I don't know, you know, the best processing game, like where, you know, we're going to get less stuttering, hopefully less bugs. You know, they've had more time. They're doing it on a much more advanced console, but it is going to stink for those who do not get a Switch. The Switch 2 pre-orders just started here in the United States. And they've really just started even for everybody else around the world as well. And I am really surprised that it's exclusively for the Switch 2. I think that is going to be very controversial, and a lot of people are going to be upset about that. But hey, you know, they have to make that jump eventually. I guess next year is going to be when that happens. So Legends ZA also, I guess, confirmed as the last Pokemon game that will be for the Switch, at least of these kind of major titles. So that is interesting as well. That is quite the send-off for us to have. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. My mind is blown. I really didn't know if this was going to happen. I'm hoping, praying for this to be as, you know, in the mythos of ancient Greece as possible. I know it's still going to be modern day, but I want some of that myth, some of that mystery. It's driven so many things and so many great games in the past. They need to dive into that and really make it a possibility here. So I'm very excited about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, like I said. But that is going to wrap it up for us on this one. So from our house to yours, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.